The Force Awakens introduced us to Rey, a loner hothead that was to be considered the new generation's Luke Skywalker. Spoilers abound, friends. We first meet Rey on Jakku, living alone and surviving off of scavenging parts from ships while she waits for her family, whom she was separated from as a child. When she encounters a lightsaber owned by Luke, she has a vision with him in it, along with the antagonist Kylo Ren and a vision of her family leaving her, and despite rejecting it at first, she embarks on a quest to find strength in the Force. While there's a lot of details we just left out, needless to say there's been plenty of speculation concerning Rey's origins, and specifically who her parents are. So today we're jumping into some of those parent theories with our list of the top 10 Star Wars characters who could be Rey's parents. And at number 10 is the Force. Theorists believe that Rey must come from a family that has quite the connection to the Force, given her abilities exhibited in The Force Awakens. So one of the options on the table is that Rey is a product of the Force, that the Force impregnated her mother in a similar way to how Anakin was conceived, and that it was done in order to bring balance to the galaxy. And at number 9 is Boba Fett. One of the cooler theories out there, but not super plausible, is that Boba Fett is her daddy, mainly because of the same slightly not plausible theories that Boba Fett is responsible for everything that happens in the Star Wars universe, and the theory that he's actually Supreme Leader Snoke, the head of the First Order, and that The Force Awakens has the same plot in Anastasia, which is actually kinda spot on. But regardless, the likelihood of this being true is pretty slim. If anything, the likelihood of him being Snoke and separating Rey, assuming she's a Solo, from her family in order to destroy them and get revenge is way more plausible. But more on the Solos later. And at number 8 is Emperor Palpatine. While some people believe that Rey is the new chosen one, there's fans who are rooting for the flip side of that Rey will eventually end up going to the dark side, and that her grandfather or great-grandfather is Palpatine. This theory suggests that when she was a child, she was taken away by Luke and left on Jakku in order to keep her away from Palpatine and the dark side. And at number 7 is Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon was a Jedi who we were introduced to in The Phantom Menace, the one who had discovered Anakin's potential when he was a child. So the reasoning behind this theory? Well, Qui-Gon wasn't a huge fan of following the Jedi Order's rules, making it believable that he could have fathered a child. There's even speculation that he conceived a child with Anakin's mother before his death. The other reason that some fans think Qui-Gon could be her grandfather is because it would really tie all 3 Star Wars trilogies together, with some elaborating that Luke training Rey would be a parallel to the way that Qui-Gon wanted to train Anakin, outside of the Jedi Order. And at number 6 is the reincarnation of Anakin. In a theory that seems pretty improbable, Rey is a reincarnation of Anakin Skywalker. So why is this unlikely? Reincarnation isn't really a thing in the Star Wars universe, and it would likely make for a better story if the Force just pulled some Immaculate Conception business instead, or if she was just naturally inclined or Force sensitive, and her family just abandoned her for other reasons. And at number 5 is Supreme Leader Snoke. Snoke is the mysterious, nefarious entity that tempted Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren, to come over to the dark side. So naturally, there's been plenty of theories surrounding the character and his identity. One of these include a relation between he and Rey, him being her father. Fans have argued that since Snoke took Ben away from Han and Leia, they removed his children from him, in an eye for an eye sort of theory, which doesn't really pan out considering you'd think that Han or Leia would speculate who the child was once they met her. Up next, number 4 is Mara Jade. Mara Jade is one of the more prominent characters from the Star Wars Expanded Universe. She's a former assassin for the Emperor, who then switched sides, became a Jedi Master, and got hitched to Luke. The reasoning behind this theory is that there are bits and pieces of the Extended Universe that are popping up in the narratives of this new trilogy, causing fans to ponder whether the inclusion of Luke's wife may be slipped in as well, perhaps if she was killed prior to the events of The Force Awakens. Up next at our number 3 spot is Obi-Wan Kenobi. One of the more popular theories is that Rey is the grandchild of Obi-Wan Kenobi. The idea is that Obi-Wan had gotten together with a lady, who he then had a child with, and that child grew up and had a child who ended up being Rey. Timing-wise, this theory could line up. And there's also the fact that Obi-Wan has a history of leaving kids on desert planets for their own safety. Why wouldn't he do the same to protect his own? Up next, number 2 is Han and Leia. Another popular theory is that Rey is the second child of Leia Organa and Han Solo, and that they abandoned her on Jakku in order to keep her safe from Ben, aka Kylo Ren, and any other danger they would put her in, themselves being so entangled in the ongoing conflict. That being said, neither of them managed to recognize her or connect the dots that she was on Jakku, which has kind of poked holes through that theory. Others think that either of them could have fathered or mothered her with another individual, since the two had split up. And finally, in our number 1 spot is Luke Skywalker. Possibly the biggest theory circulating the web about Rey's parentage is the one in which Luke is her father. Fans are eager to speculate that she's a Skywalker, with many rooting that this one may pan out. There's many reasons why one would argue this too. The films have always centered around the actions of a Skywalker. Luke has tears in his eyes when he first meets her at the end of the film. But in opposition to this, it's been confirmed that Luke's first words to Rey are, "Who who are you? But that could be because he doesn't recognize her, or feels the amount of strength that she has with the Force, and it's jarring for him. Alright, there we have it, guys. Who do you all think Rey's parents are? Or grandparents? Daisy Ridley had stated she thought that her origins were pretty obvious based on The Force Awakens, which has led to the speculation that she must be related to a character we've already come into contact with. Or perhaps her origins are just what they are. Her family left and she's been a loner ever since. Regardless, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you dug this video, please show us some love and hit those like and subscribe buttons. And feel free to head on over to our channel and check out the other videos in our recent uploads playlist. In the meantime, I've been Kelly Pally and this has been Top 10 Nerd. I'll catch you all in the next one.